Welcome, everybody. This is Derell with the Conscious Clientele. Happy to be here once again on Derell the Rebirth. I am going to have a very interesting show today. Um, in the queue right now, I have one Psychocandy who I will have a one-on-one interview with, just to kind of give you a little preface, a little bit on what this particular interview is going to be about. Um, as you all know, I have been a person that has traveled throughout the avenues of the manosphere for the last 5 to 6 years. One who's been an opponent of various manosphere content and concepts and so forth, and ideology. Today, I have I have interacted with Psycho Candy for months. I think about 6 to 8 months ago, in which I did some content in regards to him growing up, watching the Manosphere and how it has affected him. And today, you're going to get a little bit of the effects of those who follow the Manosphere and what that looks like. He's going to talk about his experience right now on some things in regards to being taken advantage of from a financial standpoint and so forth. He's going to give us his points of view of what he's been experiencing as he has interacted with other people in the manosphere and how that has affected him and so on. So I just wanted to make that, just kind of give that brief introduction on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring my brother in, and we're going to get started. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing good. Just
Can you hear me? Hello?
uh,
Brother, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So, guys, I'm introducing one Psycho Candy. You want to go ahead and say anything as far as introduce yourself to everybody, as far as who you are, and as far as how your experience in the space and so forth, as we continue.
Sure, yeah. If you hear any background noise, I just want to apologize. That's my father in the background. He's on the phone. Yeah, my name is well, I go on YouTube by Psycho Candy. My actual name is David. I am 21. I'll be 22 on Friday. I
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been in this space for a while. I'm a bit controversial, just a tad bit, but yeah, I've been kind of I suppose I've been consuming the Manosphere content since I was uh 12, 11, 12 years old or so.
Okay.
I started off with Roosh V, the pickup artist. I would go on his forums, Return of Kings, and go look up like what are women like in France, or what are women like in Brazil, or what are women like in Japan, and so on and so on. But then I realized, women are going to be women everywhere you go. It's just the cultural differences.
Right.
And then I moved on to, I want to say I moved on after the PUA pickup artist type stuff. It was MGTOW. So I found MGTOW. I watched Sandman, and then after a while, I was like, okay, this guy's videos are pretty boring and milk toast. So from there, I moved on to different people like BGS and more. Um, Who else? Maybe a few of Sergeant Willie Pete's videos. A couple of other people that are kind of not really coming to me at the moment.
Yeah.
Tommy Sotomayor, I would watch him a lot. He was just more so of like something to make me laugh. I never really took anything that he said about black women seriously, because with me it wasn't really. I never really had like an issue with black women. It was just women in general.
Right. Basically just your overall interaction, not necessarily anything racial.
Right. Because I grew up in a predominantly white area. And then after that, we moved out to Texas, where we were mostly around everyone. So,
Right. Of course. Now, now, as you know, I've done some content on you before, and I've kind of talked about some things in regards to the influence of red pill ideology, particularly on kids who are very impressionable, and you get a hold to certain things, and you can get somewhat enamored with the content, the entertainment aspect of it, but also the effects of watching that. Now I notice in the space, most guys, the younger guys that do come into the space, they usually come in around in their late teens or pretty much the early 20s, around the age you are now. And you have some that have watched, as yourself and a couple of others who have watched since they are teenagers and so forth. So um what I like to know is, based on everything that you have watched, and I think the reason why I'm asking this question, because it in some way is indicative of some of the issues that you have encountered in regards to other YouTubers and so forth. But what has this ideology actually taught you that actually produced positive gains?
Um, I would say not much, but then I would, I'd be kind of lying. But I mean, I would say it kind of put me up to how women are, how some women operate. Um, because a lot of these guys a lot of these women that these guys give attention to, they're women that I would never even pay attention to in real life. Like these thoughts, these Jezebel kind of foolish looking women. I would never pay attention to women who are dolled up with makeup, women who they think look good but have bad personality traits and what. I would never pay attention to these women in public. Um, but yeah, I would say I guess how like women kind of are, or how some women are, how some women operate. Some of the manipulative ways of some women out there. Um, but I've also gotten that firsthand experience with my mother, so
Right.
and my parents' marriage. So
Okay. Now, see what you. It's very curious that you brought up the fact of the low quality as it relates to the values and personality, and then you've also talked in from a physical standpoint, more from a superficial uh presentation of these women. And it's funny that you stated that, because it seems to me, as I've watched the Manosphere over the last 6 years, these are usually the type of women that these guys usually find themselves interacting with. And at the same time, it's almost self-defeating in nature, because they continue to be attracted and date and have dealings with these type of women, and they seem to have the same type of negative outcome, the same type of experiences you just articulated. So what do you think about that? It's almost like it's self-defeating. You talk about various women, but the choice of the type of women is not necessarily congruent to a woman that you should be dealing with.
right, like they would take a Sweetie or whatever her name is over a uh let's see, over like a Tamia. Tamia is a decent looking woman with a decent personality and whatnot. From what I know. But it's like, to me, they're not really setting a good example. They make these videos, they churn out these videos and focus on the constant like negative uh, parts of women out there and the negative women out there. Why are we even giving these women attention in the first place? That's the question I have to ask myself. Because I've never like I've never dealt with those kind of women like that.
Right. Right.
So 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 that wasn't really like an issue for me in a sense, because they deal with women that have like a certain look to them. I mean, me, I think that I can tell when a woman is kind of like not like she doesn't really have a soul, or she's just very manipulative and cold and just
Right.
out for herself.
So I'm gathering from you, just based on your own social experiences and just kind of your own intuition, you can in some way decipher whether or not a lady is someone you like to deal with, or is that someone you want to ignore for the most part.
Right. Maybe in person, but online is kind of tricky in some ways because I know yeah, I had experience where I was scammed. So yeah,
Yes, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. And
right.
because to me, the issues of you being scammed are the reason why I decided to want to talk about this. Number one, number one, just me, just anybody. Can you hear me?
A little bit. You're kind of going in and out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't want to see anybody get scammed. And so I wanted to kind of talk about, that in a sense, but I wanted to kind of slowly lead into that because I wanted to give somewhat of a framework of how this kind of led to that type of situation is because a lot of red pill ideology in the manosphere and so forth, hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You were kind of
Okay,
going in and out. It
it
might be me.
focuses a lot on women per se, but it doesn't necessarily focuses a lot on vetting because in many instances they look at women all in the majority of as being negative, but the bottom line is that their choice of women, their experience as women, seems to be one or two types of women that seem to be in some way not uh let's say something that is productive for them, or let's say a woman that necessarily is a positive influence for them in a sense. And to me, one of the common things that I've seen is that they repetitively talk about, date, and have interaction with that same type of woman. Now, for those who have followed me in the manosphere, you notice that I have issues with that because I'm not into the generalizations of women. I'm not into talking about women all day. I'm not into talking about using celebrities and people, and as far as in the entertainment, as making up the example of why you should and should not uh, do certain things or interact with black women. I'm a person that thinks a little bit more complex than that to think on those type of elementary terms. So what I like to talk about now, Psycho Candy, is the fact that you pretty much made yourself known to the sector probably what about maybe 7 8 months ago, I would say, or maybe a little longer than that. Like, how long have you actually made yourself known to the manosphere as far as the effect that it has on you?
Uh, I would say yeah, pretty much maybe about 6 months ago or so. Um, I know I had an interview with Aaron or Expose the Manosphere back in I want to say March. So,
Right, right,
a while ago, but not too long ago. But I mean, I was still kind of breaking into the back into the scene in maybe about last November or so, because that's when I stumbled upon Aaron's channel and
right.
watched pretty much all of his videos from start to finish.
Okay, great, great. So in that, I noticed when you basically broke into the manosphere and you started going on panels, you became a very, very controversial person in the manosphere. And a lot you were the talk of a lot. I know for a fact I would go particularly on in content creators that I don't like. I would watch and see what they're talking about, and your name came up. I understand that there's one toy soldier that you had an issue with. He was very I would say abrasive towards you, and I thought he basically interacted with you in a very immature manner. And then they had other people who were saying and doing things that I think was to me less than disrespectful. I mean, less than respectful. So, kind of talk to me about once you made yourself known into the manosphere and people saw you, you became a hot topic in the manosphere. You and another particular younger guy, I may say. Um, what was your interaction with other people? Did you begin getting emails from people or emailing other people, both males and females? What did you begin to have more off the camera interacts with anybody, or was it just, you only interact with people as you were online?
Some of it was off camera or like in back chat groups. Some of it, but most of it was pretty much online here on YouTube in the chat on panels. I would come on panels for a bit and talk to people. No, I didn't have contact with a woman's perspective after the interview. Well, I mean, she'd ask me maybe like a couple of days after if I was okay and all because of how everything went down on that show. But
Right.
but after that, I didn't really continue to communicate with them. Um, but I would just get like a lot of that I'm a weirdo, I'm a creep, I'm a stalker, I'm this and that. Mostly stuff about my appearance. I used to wear the hat, and
Yeah,
people would
exactly.
say I was Kung Lao, and all of that crazy foolishness. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I had people say that I was an incel and try and shame me because I did profess to hanging out in a couple of incel discords a long time ago. I got to know one of the so-called ringleaders, Kanino. He's like a half Sudanese and Turkish guy living in Turkey, I believe. 27, doesn't really leave his house. But yeah, I was just pretty much kind of ostracized by the Manosphere guys for coming out with this story and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
because when a lot of people think of black men, they think of BBC and the mythical sexual prowess. But to me, if you're not like a black man of status, if you're not an athlete or if you don't have a whole lot of money, then you're overlooked. You're pretty much the invisible man.
Right. Well, unfortunately, I have to take some issue to that. I think that um we've been conditioned, in my opinion, to believe that there are a lot of black men that you have to be upper echelon entertainment, things like that. But there are a lot of black men who are successful that may not necessarily operate under the same guise as what we disguise as what we think black men are supposed to operate under. And unfortunately, a lot of those stereotypes are somewhat conditioned for us to expect that we are supposed to take certain pathway, or I would say a limited pathway to success. And therefore, if you're not, let's say, um, a person who is, um, let's say you're a machine operator for a large corporation, but you're making $100,000 a year. Those guys don't get overlooked. Let's say if you're just a guy that has a nice small corner store business or whatever, but it's lucrative. It may not be the most glamorous of jobs. A lot of those guys don't get overlooked either. But I think that an issue in the black community is that we have these glamorized positions or glamorized status that we think, these are the guys that just get all the women, they get this and all the notoriety. That may be in somewhat true, but there's also other pathways to success through entrepreneurship, and let's just say other fields that necessarily black people are not seen as being visible are. Even though they may not be visible, doesn't mean that we're not necessarily functioning or being successful in those areas. And I think that as a black professional myself in a field that's not necessarily uh, filled with a lot of black men, a lot of times when people ask me about therapy and counseling and so forth, a lot of black people are not necessarily educated on that. And I'm a person that is highly successful in the field that I am and so forth. But you don't see a lot of black men that look like me. Now, when I go into certain areas that people don't see, such as in government agencies, and departments and so forth, um, you know, and so forth, I'm looked upon in a totally different manner as opposed to the average Joe Blow that does not understand exactly what I do. But I think Psycho, can you give me your opinion on it? I think the problem with that is just a lack of education and a lack of awareness and being open to other things, as instead of just diluting us to doing certain things and being visible only in those set few fields. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Because my father, he did occupational therapy for a while before he became blind, and when he was in the program, he was one of the few black men, or the only really black male in the program. Um, so he would show up in nursing homes and different places around the state, and people were just shocked. Like, wow, it's a black man who's a certified occupational therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in that respect, I think you and my father would have kind of similar views and whatnot.
Right.
Um, but yeah, stuff like that really isn't promoted. What's promoted is uh,
Exactly.
athletes, entertainment. When I tried to do sewing and stuff, I had a few sewing videos on my channel. I might start content again. Um, I'm not sure, but I might start some content again. But I've been very interested in sewing and fashion. But when
Mm-hmm.
my critics and detractors went and saw my channel, some of them clown me for that. But it's like, come on, man. I mean, you've Dapper Dan. He's with Gucci and all. Like nobody makes fun of Dapper Dan.
Well, I wouldn't care about that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a person, to be honest with you, and you can even ask those that don't like me, which is a lot of them in the manosphere. They know I don't give a damn about what anybody thinks about me. I really don't. And don't allow anybody that don't understand your dream or where you're trying to take to. You got to have thick skin. You cannot allow other people to in somewhat influence you on what vision you see for yourself. Because to be honest with you, what they see in you is not important. It's what you see in yourself that is important, because you're the one that's going to dictate and drive the avenues that you're going to bestow upon in life. And so what I want to talk about now is, I understand that some people did talk to you offline, but you said it was mostly in the back chat and so forth. In the onset of you having an interaction, were there any notable females, or were there females interacting with you, or was it mostly men?
Um, there were women. I mean, they had women in the chat. They would say things like "I'm handsome" or "I look like a model," blah 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 blah. But to to give a little bit of credit to the Manosphere guys, the way that they would say it though, they would think that because these women said this stuff about me, that they had to offer me uh, coitus, or some sexual intercourse in return, But that's not necessarily true. But I mean, in a way, I did kind of feel like I was being teased in a sense. Um, but no, what happened was that with that particular individual, um, and I'm not gonna lie, I have no reason to lie or tell a lie or lie about it. Um, I had heard what happened to that individual. Someone, a
But this
notable
was
person,
this a male or female?
a female, yeah,
Okay.
a notable person from the Manosphere was on one of the panels with her, and I guess the same guy who clowned me um,
Right.
tried clowning her in the chat because that's what this individual likes to do.
So
Um,
this is you're talking about the toy soldier.
right, right.
Okay.
The toy store. Yeah, right. Kind of looks like a nutcracker.
Yeah, you're
Um,
talking about Black Bart Simpson. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
right,
we
right,
know, we're well aware of who you're talking about. For those that
right,
don't know, but go ahead.
right, right. So, um, I believe it went down like this. He said that was gonna, he was gonna give her, or the young lady in question, some money, cash after, I guess, because he was pretty disrespectful towards her, and I felt bad for her as well. So, and I also liked her, so I'd given her some money, cash after her some money,
Now, now,
and
now, now is now you cashed apped her money,
right.
and the toy soldier also said that he was going to cash. Did so? You both cashed apped her money.
I don't know if he did or not, but I know I did.
Now is this the incident where you gave $200, or this is a different incident?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yes.
This is a different one, or is this the same incident?
No, it's the same incident where I gave
Okay,
the
go ahead.
200. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
Um. Yeah, and I put my email in the message, because I thought I thought she was attractive. So I was like, you know what, why not? And she seemed to have a nice personality at the time. And then
Right.
and then later on, I noticed a couple of things, and then that's when I was like, okay, you
Okay,
know,
let's stop there. Okay, now
mhm,
I want to ask you this because you gave a substantial. I'm not here to tell you how to you know
right,
invest your money in anybody, donate.
right.
But what was your interaction with her prior to that? Did you have any dealings with her? Did you have any conversations with her? Did she really know who you were, or you just was doing it just because of the incident that happened?
I was doing it. I would say because of the incident that happened. I mean, I would see her in somebody else's chat, and we would all kind of just chat there and whatnot. But
But it
um,
was never any flirting. It was never any, hey, I think you're cute, or you look good or
well,
something. You never
I,
tried
I,
to shoot
I
your
mean, I
shot or
probably
anything like that.
it was probably one-sided flirting in a way. It was. That's why I just felt like it was a bit of a tease. I mean, I would throw stuff out there and say that I would come and visit and all of
And,
that.
and, and how did she respond to that?
It was just like, okay, okay, cool,
Okay, cool. Wait,
okay.
wait, 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 hold on. See, okay, cool. What is that in the context of what? When you're
Well,
saying okay, cool, are you saying okay, cool? If I come out there and see you, we're going to interact, or is this okay, cool? If you say so, I mean that can mean a lot of different things.
right. Well, I'm saying, okay, cool. That's how it came off to me. Like, all right, we'll see about it.
Okay, so it sounded like from your perspective, it was something that could potentially happen, and you both were like
Uh, I
was
mean,
saying it from the same perspective of us possibly linking up if I do come into town.
I that's what I saw it at first. But
Okay, so
but
was there prior to you giving Cash apping her the money? Did you have you were in the understanding that this could potentially happen? She never expressed anything as if she wouldn't want to talk to you or interact with you.
right, right. But I mean, I sent my email out, so maybe we can get in touch via email and whatnot. Because I'm not always in the chat all the time. I work.
Right.
So.
So when you gave her the email, that was an extension of let's chop it up offline. Let's have a more one-on-one, personal, private conversation that's not necessarily limited to being on YouTube back chats. So you were
Well,
looking to push it further.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was. I'll say that. I'll be honest. Yeah. But I mean, after a while, I saw that I observed and time went by, and I was like, you know what? I sent this maybe about way back in March,
Okay.
April or so. And then it was like June, maybe like May, June or so, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting a response. So you know
So
what?
so so how many emails did you give her? Multiple emails, and
No,
but she
no,
never responded.
no. I just it was kind of like giving someone your number to let them
Oh,
respond.
so you were waiting on her to email you back, is what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Psycho. I'm a little mixed on that. I don't know if that was the best, in my opinion. I don't know if that was the best approach.
Right, right. But I mean, this is YouTube, and it's not really the place for that. So I'll take that L. But I noticed some things
So
too, and
so
then I was
so
just kind of
did
like,
did you think? But did you think due to giving her the email along with the $200 cash app that you felt like, okay, by me doing this and also, hey, basically extending, the hand a little bit by kind of greasing the hand a little bit by giving her, some change as the fact that she went through whatever, you felt out of, I guess, I'm not saying that you was entitled to a response back, but
right,
you felt like it was somewhat okay. The least I can get back is a an email, hey, how you doing, or just some type of response. Not saying
Well,
that you are entitled to anything, but
right,
just out of respect, like just say, just at least, hey, thank you for the $200 um cash out. At least minimal of that.
right, because I had to go and track the individual like down in order for the if somebody gave me something, I would go
Yeah,
and
but
find them
see,
and thank them.
yeah, but now when you say the term track the person down, that it gives kind of a an angry connotation or a frustrated connotation.
Well, I mean, I wasn't really like angry or frustrated. I was just a bit like annoyed because you know if if you're not, all I wanted to know was if you were interested or not. If you're not interested, you could have just sent the email saying that, or you could have just said it in the chat. I wouldn't have taken it personally.
Okay.
I you know,
Right. So I hear what you're saying. So let's talk about it like this. So
hmm
if you had to do it all over again, what do you think you would have done differently?
probably not. Felt sorry for the individual. I would have probably let the toy soldier go ahead and did what he said that he was going to do.
Right.
Um.
Well, to me, I'm just going to tell you from my perspective in this.
hmm
I think that I don't think she did anything to earn. I understand she went through whatever, and you felt like, hey, I just want to give her something for going through that situation. But the fact of the matter is that, I mean, I don't know if that situation was uh I don't think that you donated in that amount that would be, let's say, adequate for the experience that she went through. I'm just giving you my opinion. I mean, I could see you giving somebody $5, $10 cash out, particularly that you had a minimal interaction with her, because people don't necessarily nearly give $200 cash apps to people they don't necessarily really know. That's just me. Like I've
Right.
given 200. I've given the times that I've given cash apps of that amount is for people doing something that was real big, like in the sector that I'm also in.
He kind of went out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I can hear.
Whenever I give that amount to someone, that means that they did some groundbreaking type presentation, or they expose some things that nobody else is. It's
Well, you kind of going out. You went out. Hello.
Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. I keep getting the phone. Okay. So it just didn't warrant that. That's just my opinion. Look, I can't tell you what
Right.
to do
But
with your
but
money. And
right.
to me, her the lack, and I'm not blaming her response, because her response was like, hey, he just gave me $200, and hey, I didn't do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. So what? So I can understand your perspective, and I can understand her perspective.
Right.
And so my perspective is, I just don't think the situation warranted that. I do understand you were trying to shoot your shot, and there's nothing wrong with that. And to me, hey, you may shoot your shot with somebody else down the line, but I'm just hoping this can be seen as a learning experience, so that you don't get yourself caught up in a situation where you're thinking that, hey, I'm going to, because I do something, that doesn't necessarily mean that that interaction is going to happen or it's going to take place.
Right.
I would say, hey, you have to vet that situation and make a better decision, particularly on giving that level of a cash app. Um, for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm giving a $200 cash app, we talking offline, we texting, we meeting. I mean, I'm just telling you my perspective. That's just my perspective. Doesn't have to be your perspective.
Right, but
And the fact of the matter, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not necessarily blaming her for this, but in hearing and when I first heard about this, I kind of heard the thing about her thinking, she was saying that she's seen you in a negative manner, such as a weirdo and so forth. It was almost as if she felt like you were constantly attempting to like uh try to date her, but she had no interest at all.
I mean, if that was the case, then because I mean, I did go back in the chat back and forth and kind of but if that was the case, then you could have said, "Hey, I'm not interested," and then I would have been like, "Okay, I back off."
But
You
but
know,
but, but she never gave that perspective of, hey, I'm not interested. She was just more or less playing along, just I guess kind of tentatively communicating just to see, I guess just talking or whatever. It wasn't necessarily her insinuating that it could be more.
right, right. I mean, like I was just kind of playing around too in a way, but I noticed that with her interactions with the other guys in the chat, that's just like a tease. Some women they like the attention, and that's fine.
Right,
I don't. It's not like a problem, but I don't like how I'm being painted into
right.
being this kind of like
Now
creepy weirdo
I can
stalker
say
guy because
this.
that's I'm not.
Yeah. Now I can
That's
also
not who I
say I
am.
think that she could have like not went in as the way she did. I'm not saying she has. I mean that's her feelings. That's I can't tell her
Right,
how to feel. But
right.
I
She's
think that
valid to feel that
based.
way.
Oh, what were you saying?
I said right. She's if she wants to feel that way, it's valid. But don't try and paint me out to be of this certain kind of character because I can get people who know me in real life and online from other spaces, and they can testify that I'm not. That's not me. That's not my character.
Right, right. Now, um, you've also talked to me as we conversed in email that there were other instances like you quoted a large amount of money that you've given to other people that you felt was, I guess, the interaction didn't go the way it was supposed to, or you felt like you may have should have not given that money. Um, so when you told me that when it was upwards of $7,000-8,000 per se, were those similar situations or was that different types of situations?
I would say it was different. For the record, I am not a trick.
You're not a what?
I said I'm not a trick. So
No, hold on, Psycho Candy, hold on. Now you understand by you saying that people are thinking that's what it is.
right, that's why I put it out there. I mean, perhaps I am. Maybe somebody did hit a lick on me, or they did. So yeah, what happened in that situation was I do a lot of online shopping, so I'm on Etsy, right? And there's
Right.
this woman that messaged me on Etsy, and she wanted to know how the site worked. So I was like, okay, this is how it works. I thought she was strange at first, but then I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just go along with this and see how this ends up. So we had moved to Skype and started communicating on Skype, and she told me that, or she introduced me to her niece. And these people, they live, I guess she lives overseas in Italy, has some kind of connections back in Ghana. Um, so yeah, I pretty much had a savings of $7,000 to $8,000. Um, I
You gave her $7,000-8,000
not all in one go. It was just
over time.
various right amounts.
Okay,
Yeah.
now Psycho Candy. Now I know you're a young man, and I understand now. The last time I spoke to you, now this is
Right,
the point that I have to as an elder, and I know I have kids older than you.
right.
Okay, so I'm not going to tell you anything I wouldn't tell my son. Okay, now the 7 to 8 thousand that you gave her, how like over how much time did you give her that money?
Uh, I'd say maybe like 2 to 3 months. Two to
Okay,
3 months.
okay. Now this is the issue I have. Psych. This
Hmm.
this, this is me. Now I understand you're a young man. Now I remember probably about 3 or 4 months. The last time I spoke to you, you were talking about you were moving. I think you were in Texas or Baton Rouge, and you were talking about going to. I assumed that you were working maybe a job that that's maybe you know um I'm saying not necessarily a high earning job that was basically conducive to you going to school and working maybe part time or full time.
Hmm.
I didn't the way you described it to me as far as you not because you were kind of indecisive about what you wanted to do when you was talking about school and some other it was kind of like you were kind of trying to feel your way out of what you wanted to do in life. This was about 3 or 4 months ago when we were on a panel on a weekend. I think you came on my channel and we were talking
Yeah.
about some issues in regards to the manosphere and so forth. Now,
Right. Right.
now that's a lot of
Well,
money.
I still am in school. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
that's
It
that,
is a lot of money.
yeah, that's a lot of money for a college student. So my thing was, were you working a job where you could afford to actually give that kind of money to somebody, or what was going on?
Um, I I was not unemployed, or I was unemployed from like last November up until I would say March. March.
So how could you afford to give somebody $7,000 to $8,000?
That was my savings, but I was under the impression that I would be paid back.
Okay. Now let's now you, psycho we psycho candy. Now you come across as a smart guy. Now let's just kind
Right.
of look at that. You never met this woman, right?
No, we she said that she was gonna fly down, but that never happened.
But
So,
but see but psycho what it's the the the
well, I mean,
narrative the narrative that
I've learned my
okay,
lesson though.
yeah,
Not
I
to,
know you learned your lesson, but
right.
I just want to revisit this because I think that you have a propensity to trust people that don't deserve your trust.
Right, and that's why, in a way, I kind of feel like Michael Jackson at times. He trusted kind of the wrong people, and look at where he ended up.
Yeah, because my thing is when I'm seeing this, I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. Like it's a lot of things you could have done with your life savings. I
Right.
mean, so there's a lot of things. Matter of fact, to be honest with you, Psycho Candy, there are a lot of women in America would have been dating you for 10% of that, for 10% of that $8,000. I'm sorry. If you wanted to buy a friendship, there are a lot of women on the block that probably look far better than her that you could have gave 10 lot more out of that situation than
Perhaps.
someone online that you never met. And then the thing about it is, again, what I'm hearing from you is that they didn't earn anything, they didn't do anything, they didn't necessarily provide anything for you, nor did you get anything out of it outside of conversation. Because number one, this is what I'm hearing from you, brother.
Hmm.
She said she was going to fly out while you were giving her money, right?
Right.
But she never flew down.
Correct.
So at that point, why would you give her any more money if she proven just on the fact of that? And I'm thinking you probably gave her enough money to fly down.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't you think that in itself should have been an indication or a telltale sign? I need to either discontinue this relationship or I need to just don't give her any more money.
Right. Yeah, that should have been a sign indeed. Hmm.
So kind of talk to me about maybe kind of looking back at that. How come you think that never crossed your mind to think in that manner?
Uh, I guess because like my father's pretty pissed about it. In fact, he still doesn't believe the story. Um, but he was very, very pissed off about that. But in the words of my father, I guess I want something so bad. I want the company of a woman so bad. That it's not gonna happen. When you chase after something like that, it's just not. You kind of chase it away, I guess. In other words.
Right. Well, to me, I think of it like this, and this is just some advice to you. If a female wants to deal with you, she's gonna deal with you, whether you give her something or not. Just if a person is really into you, there are a lot of black women out here who are dating broke black men that ain't worth a dime, and
Oh, we know
they're
that.
giving everything to him, and he's not. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm
No,
not saying that's
right.
right. But if a female is interested in you, or if a female wants to be with you and interest you, you don't have to do all of that.
Well, that's the thing. I thought she was interested in me, but it
But
was
but but
just my money. But this could have been a.
but this is what I'm hearing, Psycho, and this is what
Mhm.
Psycho Candy is that based on what you're telling me, I don't see any indications of her really like. I'm trying to figure out what did she do or say to you to make you think she was interested when she lied to you in the process.
Right.
And but you overlook you see, but see this is why I'm having this conversation with you is
Hmm.
because there are certain YouTubers that are in the manosphere who've made the same mistakes that you're just talking about that
Right. The
led
toy
them to
soldier.
red pill rage. Okay,
Hmm.
there are people that have talked about their stories dealing with women that are very similar to what you're saying right now. And it may not be some of them. I know certain people that they gave more money than you. They were liable for way more money than what you did over time. And then I know some that it was $200 here, $100 here, or she gave money to that she thought she was giving to him, giving to his girlfriend, and found out she spent money on another boyfriend she had. And see,
Right.
these are the things. These are the things. The way you have operated and the way you have functioned in the context of interaction with females is indicative to a lot of men who now are part of the manosphere and who hate women. Because what these guys are doing, because I'm going to say this to you, now, I don't know how you may take this, but
Hmm.
you seem, I'm not saying you don't care the fact that I think you definitely understand it's a learning and experience, but the way it presents is like, yeah, I gave her the $8,000. I gave her this over time. It's in the past. It's kind of like it's like I did it, but to the chat and so forth, people are kind of wondering whether you really learn from this, or would you repeat this same um mistake if the right female came along that looked the way, as far as for her physicality and her presentation, she woo you, and then you turn around and do the same thing all over again, because this is consistent with guys in the manosphere. A lot of these guys in the manosphere that hate women or that think black women are the scum of the earth have had repetitive toxic relationships in which they were victims of female exploitation, particularly from a financial standpoint. So
Right.
what do you think about that? I just want to get your opinion of that.
Well, I mean, I don't hate women.
No. I'm not
Um.
saying you, but I'm
Right.
saying how
The guy.
I'm just
Right.
trying to draw the correlation to guys in the manosphere who have actually made the same type of mistake that you're
Hmm.
just talking about, and it drove them to that. I'm not saying you would do that, but it drove them
Well,
to that type of mindset.
I mean, if anything, it should drive them to hate themselves.
Okay,
I mean, I don't. I'll be honest. At one time, I didn't really like myself. I didn't feel comfortable looking in the mirror and seeing like what I see. Um, I'm not. I don't hate women. In fact, there are very decent women out there. Um,
right,
I I just have an issue with giving, being too trusting with
right,
people. I think that everyone is like me. There's very altruistic and good. kind-hearted, but
Yeah, there's a
it,
lot of naivety in your mindset, and
right.
I think that being naive will, I think, as you get older and become more experienced, that will probably leave. But the bottom line is that nobody's going to treat you as good as you treat yourself. Nobody's going to do that. Only you can
Mm,
treat yourself as good as you want to be. And my thing is that in order for you, you have to understand her trust. Let's say the trust that she gives you, the trust
mm-hmm.
that anyone one gives you is something you have to earn, and the trust that you give her, it also has to be earned. And words alone is not going to be enough. Words alone is not, because any woman can tell you anything that you want to hear, particularly if she's looking out to exploit you. So I'm just encouraging and reinforcing that you show a little bit more skepticism as you hear women, as you encounter, because you're going to meet and encounter other women. You just have to be a little bit more mindful of what they do and say, and whether or not those things match up. Because if it's just by word alone, just is not, particularly if you never met them, Psycho Candy. I mean,
Right. Well,
there's a
that's
lot of scammers out there.
right. Well, that's my problem. My father says that I get caught up. Because he says everybody on YouTube there. I listen to losers on YouTube. And that I need to stop talking to these internet people and whatnot. But
Right. Well, to
you know,
me, I'm going to say you may need a break from that, but I'm going to step further and say, you keep your pockets and you keep your money in your pockets. And I would not give anybody any money that, particularly if I've never met, had a relationship with, or never been intimate with. They haven't done anything to earn that. I
right.
mean, because my thing is this: you basically gave them free money for doing nothing.
Well, I mean, the government did it to him too. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I understand.
but hold on. Let's not fall into rationalization. That's a defense mechanism.
Right.
We're focusing on you, not the government. So my thing is that, what I'm saying is that, and I understand you. It sounds like you've learned from it,
I
and
did.
I know you seem like you're looking at things from a half full perspective instead of half empty. But that's a great deal of money for a guy your age to be given to any woman that necessarily you're not dating, engaged to, about to marry, or having your child. you know, and that particular lady don't fit any of those check boxes. You know,
Right.
right? So that's a great deal. That's a lot of capital to give somebody that didn't earn it. So so looking at it right now, are you currently interested or interacting with any females online at this moment?
Oh, oh, I'll be honest. That never changes. I am. Yeah, I am. We're just friends though. These individuals, I've never given them any money. In fact, I've told one my story, and she was like, "Yeah, you don't need to be giving anybody any more money." I'm like, no,
Yeah, but
because
but, but what I'm saying is are you interacting with someone for potential dating?
mm, yeah, one of them, yes, yes.
Okay, so let's what have you taken from what you learned to apply to that situation?
Don't give any money out to and if she starts asking for money, drop her. Like just drop her. Um, and I would say that um to make sure that she does something for me. I guess I don't know how to
Right.
really put it,
Well, to
but
me, it's like this, man. Like I'm gonna say this. Okay,
mhm.
let's just say this. I'm gonna assume, and I don't know if this is true or not. Did when the financial thing came up as far as money, was this
Mhm.
something you were offering, or did they ask for it?
What do you mean with what?
Like for the previous situation, for the online person you gave thousands to, did you offer that money or initially,
No,
or she asked for it?
no, no. She asked for it, and then I
Okay.
was I already felt kind of weird because it was like, well, damn. you know, like
Now, what would have happened if you would have said no? What do you think would have happened if you would have gave her an initial no?
I mean, she probably would have kept pressing.
Okay, but the thing about it is, even though she's pressing, when you asked about her coming to see you, I mean, do you think you were entitled to also press? Because I look at it as equal. Like if you're pressing to get capital from me, then I should press to actually see you in person.
Right.
I mean, so but you didn't press about her meeting you face to face.
Not enough. Not
Not
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I hear you. So what about meeting women in real life? I mean, to me, I would encourage you to start meeting women in real life as opposed to online. But that's, I mean, I understand, your generation, you're a millennial, and a lot of millennials meet people from social media, other platforms, and so forth.
I
What
mean
about just meeting women in person?
and I would say my city doesn't really have like good quality of women. You know, Baton Rouge. Like, come on, come on.
But hey, man, you got. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, go on Southern Campus, baby. That's
Yeah. Well,
plenty of beautiful women over there.
right, right. But I mean, I would feel intimidated by them. Like
Why?
I just think some probably view me as like a boy. And not
Okay.
really like not really a
So
man.
so what you're doing is you're giving false predictions without evidence to show that they would do that. That's a thinking error. Now, let me ask you this question:
Hmm.
you're already predicting the negative before it even happens.
Well, because I know. I mean, this
No,
stuff
you
has
don't.
happened
No,
to
you
me
don't.
before.
You don't know until it happens. You're predicting it based on what you feel is going to happen from other experiences, but you're not taking into account the fact that you put the effort in that particular situation and that environment. Then you can weigh your options on whether or not you be successful or not. You see, that to me is what this is that negative false prediction is what prevents a lot of men from approaching women because you're automatically assuming the negative. But when you don't ask, not asking is almost like saying like a woman already telling you no when you
Well, I
haven't given
mean,
her the chance to either say
uh,
yes or no.
I'll give you this. I had, and this girl is young. She's 18, fresh out of high school. But
Right?
I did really kind of know. But we had worked together back when I worked at that particular place, and I guess she was being friendly.
Right?
I don't like when women really do that because
You don't like when
it,
women are friendly?
it's right. No, I don't, because it's kind of hard to tell. If you're flirting, if you really like me, or if you're just being friendly.
Okay. Well, the difference
Anyway,
between being friendly and being flirty is that at least in being and excuse me, and being flirty, you're gonna say something to kind of lean you on as far as I like how you look, or maybe we need to hang out, or I mean, like they're gonna at least give you some clue to interpret that it can be more. Being nice is just like, hey, I'm just doing a favor just because, hey, we just that's a fine line between the two.
hmm, I guess, but I mean, it's like anyway. I pretty much with that situation, what I did was I asked her. I was like, hey, maybe you and I should do something, and
Right.
huh?
I'm listening.
Yeah, I was like, maybe you and I should do something. Um, and she was like, what? Me? Like she turned around and I was like, yeah, yeah, you. And she's like, okay, well then I'll give you my. She clearly said her number. She's like, I'll
Right.
I'll give you my number later or something like that before I leave.
Okay.
Um, but I was getting ready to leave, so I was going on break, and by the
Right.
time I would come back from break, she would be gone. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go and see, if I can just get it now. And then
Right.
she tried to give me her Instagram, and then that's when I was like, oh, I don't,
Okay.
I don't do Instagram.
Okay, so
You know,
she said she's
but
gonna give you the number, then she changed. So well, I'm just gonna give you my Instagram,
right, and then she tried to play it off like, how old am I? Like 21. I'm like 21 is not that far off from 18, you
right?
know? But I understand that we're dealing, I was dealing with a little girl, and I don't really, like I said, I don't like women or young women with the mentality of a little girl, because
Right,
there's a difference between a little girl and a woman, the mentality.
right, right. But I mean, you're 21 too, so it's it can go both ways. But
I no, I understand that, but I'm not out here like the Pookies and Ray Rays or these guys on in the Manosphere with some newfound knowledge. I'm not.
right,
I was always, to a certain extent, I was always a little bit mature for my age,
right. Well,
in a
to
way.
me, it sounds like to me in that situation, the minute she didn't want to give you the number, it was time to move on. I would have. I mean, I think that your decision. I would have just been decisive. Okay, now you're playing games. It's okay. I'll move on. You're gonna meet other women. It's no big deal. It's no L you're taking. You
Well,
playing
I mean,
around. I mean, a simple gesture of getting a number. If it's gonna take all of that, you don't need it. I just move on. Move to the next girl. Let it be done.
right, right. Well, my father says the same thing, but it's not like, I don't know. To me, it's a little bit more personal,
Well,
and I don't.
what's personal about somebody you barely know?
Well, I mean, I wanted to get to know them, but they didn't even give me the opportunity.
I know, but the fact that she did not give you the opportunity leads you to understand that you don't need that opportunity. Because if she
Right.
wanted to give
Well,
you, if she wanted to give you the opportunity, she would have took her time and made sure you put that number in your phone.
right. But I mean,
But
if
she
you're,
didn't.
go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, but she didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like you're up here. I don't need you up here telling me, hey, how, no, you know, I just, I don't know. There were some things that I started to pick up about her too
Right.
that I really didn't like. She would follow her friend, and
Right.
you know, to me, you don't have a mind of your own if you're always with your
Yeah, but
friend or
she's
following what your friend
but
does.
she's 18. She's 18.
Right, right,
Psycho Candy. She's
right.
18.
Well, she's 18, so she's concerned about partying and the college life. Me, I'm a bit of an old man in a way. Like I'm just,
Yeah, but you're 21.
I understand that, but I don't.
Right.
There's not much I do. I just go home. I come from work, go home. That's it. Hang out on
Right.
online.
Yeah. Well, it kind of sounds like to me, I would not take it personal. I would be like, hey, I'm moving on.
Well, I did. I moved on. I don't
Yeah,
work there
move
anymore. I
on
don't see
from
her,
it.
so
To
it's
be
like
honest
whatever.
with you, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Southern campus has a lot of beautiful girls out there, and it's
Yes,
known for that.
yes,
Also, man, the
but like I
community,
said,
huh?
they, but like I said, they probably look at me as like a little boy. I mean, when they
Again, no,
should.
no, 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 no. You're in the college age range. You're 21 years
I
old.
I
That-
understand that, but I come off as, I would say, to me, to myself, I come off as
No,
kind of
but
like
but the way you think you come off doesn't mean that they're gonna think you come off. See, this is where your confidence has to kick in. You're assuming the negative when you have not allowed the female to make that decision.
well, I mean, they always make the decision. They made
No, no,
uh,
no, no, no. The
if
ones that you dealt with in the past made decisions. That doesn't mean that the women over here are going to make the same decision. You
there,
have to you
trust
have to
me,
allow, huh?
if there was a woman out there that liked me, we would have been paired up together by now.
No, no,
But
that doesn't. No, that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true because you're thinking that there's certain women I can get because things that other women have said. You're actually preventing yourself from meeting those women because you're thinking about what the present women, the women of the past have stated, instead of focusing on the next one, the next one, the next one.
well, then
You
maybe I
may.
need.
I'm gonna say this. You may get turned down 10 times before you find the 11th person that's going to say, okay, I'm feeling you. I may like that hat that you had on. I think the hat cool. Won't you let me wear it?
Well, I mean,
Let's
when I
take a
get
picture.
compliments,
You never
I get
know.
a
You
lot of
never know. You
when I
have
get
to,
compliments, I get a lot of
huh?
compliments from older women, not like younger women. Not that I'm looking for like younger women anyway. I usually like older women, but I feel like, and I think that they would look at me as a boy, like I'm not mature enough. Like who am I? I don't know. It's some kind of like mental thing, and this is why like I wish that in a way I could kind of be prescribed something to like just take me out of my head.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I had my phone was acting up again. I'm in a bad spot. But yes, there is a mental block because you're basically overgeneralizing based on past experience that's preventing you from just freely meeting and interacting with people. I wouldn't take a yes or no personal. Just take it if a no is if you've been told no, you just been told no. I mean, you can move on. You'll find other women. I mean,
Well,
most men. Let's understand it. Most men are going to get more no's than yes, but that's not going to stop you from getting yeses. Just it just so happens that there's a
I
certain
mean,
percent of women that are going to tell you no, and then that's fine. That's okay. But if you
right,
continue
that is
to
fine. I mean, they have that choice, but I've never been told yes. It's like,
you
and I
know you've never been told yes yet. See, you're assuming you're gonna go 0 for 100, but the percentages that you probably may go 25 for 100. You're gonna get some yeses eventually, but you can't let those no's affect that yes that you're gonna get.
well, I'm not gonna wait around. I mean, I already know I'm probably gonna have to leave the state and go somewhere else. I mean, sometimes you change it. You're
Wait
laughing,
a
but
minute, wait,
sometimes a
psycho.
change of environment
They
helps.
got what about a million, maybe a million black women that live in Louisiana. Are you in Louisiana or are you in Texas?
I'm in Louisiana now.
Okay, that's about a million and a half black women. You mean to tell me out of a million and a half, you think you starting to sound like SYSBM right now?
Well, I mean, you have to eliminate the ones that are underage, the ones that are a bit too old, the ones that are, maybe a bit overweight. So it's like, what gives? And sometimes a change of environment helps. I mean, you're
Well,
laughing, but
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm going to encourage you to think positive. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to
well,
encourage you to think positive about that process and not to allow the past failures to affect the future success. That's what I'm going to encourage. Uh,
well then,
I'm
well then
because
how,
oh, go
well
ahead.
then how,
What you said?
well then how can I stop like living in the past? See, and this is why I say like maybe I need to.
Those are things that those are things I'd have to talk to you in a personal setting about that.
Right,
I don't want to get into the therapeutic stuff too much because that I don't want to make
right,
this. I don't want to give the perception of therapy,
right.
but there are ways to psychologically um, minimize those thoughts. Okay, there are ways to do so.
Yeah, but I mean, I just, like I said, I know it's not. Because if so, it would have happened by now. That's why I look at all of this stuff as a tease. All of the little compliments, interactions online. It's a tease.
But
And then
but but remember, you said earlier as we were talking that when you were in the chat, when you first came to the scene, there were women that told you look cute.
yeah, they did, but they never reached out to me and say, "Hey, I want your number," or "Hey, let's talk."
But why were you waiting on? Why didn't you be assertive and reach out to them?
I look at it like this. All right, say if I
You
have a
keep
$20.
hold on, wait a minute, Psycho Candy. You keep every time I challenge you, you keep saying I look at it like this, but the way that you've been looking at it has not given a positive outcome. We have to make note of that.
Right,
Okay, but you keep reverting to that when I challenge you on those
because it's
thoughts.
all I know.
I know, but let's look at the outcome. The outcome is what we got to look at. Let me ask you this question.
Hmm.
When I'm asking you these questions, what are you thinking?
Honestly, I really don't know. I'm just thinking about the past experiences
Yes, the past
and
experiences that are in the past.
right. I mean, it happened, so there's no use on dwelling it, but it just bothers me. I, if there's one thing about me, I have a decent memory.
Right?
There's just some things I can't forget, and I know I need to learn how to let that stuff go. You
Okay,
know,
yeah. Some things. I mean, some things you do. Some things you're not gonna. I'm not telling you not to forget. I'm gonna say this. What I'm saying is that you can use those failures as a learning experience that can help you improve on future interaction. That's the way I would encourage you to look at it. I'm not I would not encourage you to look at those all of those no's of the past as a way of preventing you from continuing to interact and engage in any type of conversation or whatever with any female that you want to meet. That's to me. I think when you use it in the way that you're doing, you're hindering yourself because you're expecting failure.
because that's all I get. That's all my results are.
Yeah, but as long as you expect failure, you're going to receive failure. You eventually you're going to get success. You just have to we have to tweak some things. We have to relook at some things. We have to change your perspective. We have to maybe change your approach on some things. All of these things can easily be fixed. These the things that you're talking about are not unfixable because I've done this. I've helped plenty of people that had this same issue, and it took tweaking in certain areas, readjust addressing certain things, and learning to operate and let's say adapt to certain situations that would make you be seen as more attractive. I mean, it's not unrealistic at all. To be
Right,
honest with you, it's not. It's actually, in my perspective, it's very very fixable, very fixable from my perspective.
right. But I mean that I can tell you all of this and stuff, but
Right?
the guys in the manosphere who want to so call
But those are guys who have the same percentage of failures as you. So you
well,
can't you can't listen
that's
to
what I'm getting
guys who got
that's what I'm
zero.
getting
They
into.
zero in a million.
That's what I'm that's what I'm getting into.
Right?
These are the same. They wanted to get up there and make fun of me and all of that, but they're one of me. I'm a reflection of them. That's why they were afraid when I got out there. People were there. Oh, black men are incels. Yeah, hell yeah, man. You know,
Yeah, there are black incels, but that don't mean you have to be one.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying that they're there. Like it's nothing to make fun of or anything. And I think and I feel that a lot of people, men and women, they make fun of guys like myself, and it's just like, well, what gives? How does that help?
Okay. Them
uh,
them again. They can make fun of you, but at the end of the day, the fun that they're making of you has no bearing on your life at all. It has no bearing on you being successful, your failures. You're giving them that power. If you're allowing what they say to be that much of an influence, what I'm telling you is that then that's a problem. What I'm encouraging you to do is don't give any credence to anything that they're saying. Focus on self. Focus on the things that you have to do to improve. I would not take any value to anything that I've never taken value to anything these guys have stated because these guys have failed at the one thing that they talk about every day, and that's black women. They failed at black women all their life, and that's why they talk about it all the time. That's
yeah.
facts.
I mean, for them it's black women, but for me it's just women in general. I mean, I've approached women of multiple ethnicities, and it's the same thing.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't want to kind of go on and on about it, but I do think
Right.
that We kind of talked about some things and so forth. Like I said, you can continue to interact with me as we discuss, and we can, talk about other things. And so on. So that's the decision you would have to make. But I do think that my purpose is that what I don't want to see you do is get into internet relationships that involves you being taken advantage of. That's something I don't want to see. That's something that I really really was taken about that. That really kind of irked me a little bit. When I'm like, oh, nah, we can't allow this to happen to you. I really want the best for you, and I definitely don't want you giving your money to females, particularly that amount of money or any amount, without them showing any level of loyalty, being with you physically, sexually, whatever, meeting you, talking to you, going on dates. I mean, you have to have some tangibles in order to be given money. I'm sorry, that's just how I would work it out.
What?
You say what?
You said I have to what?
I didn't say you have to do it. Have to what?
N- No, no, you said I have to have some. I didn't catch that. I have to have
No, I didn't
something
say
to.
you had to have. I said that. Damn, what did
No,
I
you
say?
said in order to be giving out money like that, I have to have something. I didn't
No, no,
catch that
no.
part.
Oh, what I was saying was that you have to have. They have to be doing something in return for you. They have to be giving you. You have to be meeting these people, talking to them, dates. You have to be doing like there has to be some tangible interaction for you to even think about giving someone money. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion. In my opinion. I mean, basically, you were giving things away where they were not providing anything in return. They wasn't even loyal to you. They didn't even put a label on the relationship. You know,
Yeah.
none of those things were done. It was just basically an online interaction between two people, in which I guess one may have pretended that they liked you and you liked them, and at the same time they were wanting money.
Yeah, the 7,000, 8,000 situation. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
somebody's in here right now. I'm not gonna say her name, but you know who she is. She needs to stop.
No, I mean that's cool, man. I mean at this point, I don't care. This is just YouTube drama. In fact, I
She
don't
she
even
she
really.
putting it like, look, I'm trying not to
Well, I mean,
whatever.
she didn't. I mean, she's not wrong. She didn't. She said that's what happened. And that's what happened. So Fantastic was supposed to actually send the money, but I felt sorry for her and I liked her, so I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and do it. So I did it. But I mean, the email it would have been a plus, but I mean, if you're not interested, you could have just sent back an email saying that. You could have just sent it to me in the chat. Hey, I'm not interested. That's cool. I mean, it's nothing, no hard feelings or anything. I'm not like this weirdo, creepy uh cyber stalker. I mean, if anything, that guy Vic Dick, he's the real troll.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's things that I probably that I do need to work on and all. But like I said, it is what it is. But I just kind of find it funny how the Manosphere, how during the breakdown interview, what they did me when I'm
Well,
I'm sitting up.
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm not surprised on that because that happened to a dear friend of mine named Faith. When Faith was on there, a similar situation happened to her. So I'm not surprised, and I like both of them. I put them in a song that I created. They both cool, but I understand the people they hang out with, so that those
Right.
things happen. And I like both of them. I like listening to both of them. I don't like the company that they have, but that's just my opinion. They came up, they built their platform, they got their little minions that come on there speaking the same BS every time they go live or whenever they go live or whatever. So hey, it is what it is. Everybody got their own crews. It just so happened, they have their certain people that go there and they speak a certain rhetoric. So that's how I look at it.
Right. But I mean, it's all cool. Yeah, but I mean, I need to work on the negative
Yeah, but
mindset.
yeah, there's a lot of negative self-defeating uh behavior that you engage in that actually prevents you from reaching the goals
Self
that you want to
sabotage.
reach.
Self
Huh?
sabotage. Self sabotage.
Yeah, you self sabotage. But to me, it's almost like the way you do it is if you don't even give your chance the ability to just on probability alone, certain things can happen. I mean, every I'm honest with you. Most guys are going to get more no's than yes.
Right.
That's just gonna happen. I mean, I mean, that happened. There are days I probably, when I was your age, I probably would, when I was on the yard on Southern Campus, I probably would speak to 8 girls in one day and be told no. And then the next day, I may speak to 2 or 3 other girls, and out of those 2 or 3, out of those 3 women, I may have gotten like 2 numbers, and one person said no or something. That just it's just a chance you have to take. You know, I may go a whole week where I didn't nobody. I couldn't get with anybody. And the next week, I probably met 5 different girls. I mean, it just happens like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get success. You're gonna get more no's than yes. For most guys, you're gonna get more no's than yes. That's just how it is. And to be honest with you, you have to also look at it like this: women, even the average woman, can get hit on daily. So when
Well,
you gotta look at it
right.
from the female perspective, when you got like 3 or 4 or more guys hitting on you every other day, it becomes routine just to say no unless somebody stands out that you may have a feeling that, hey, I may be attracted to him or something like that. That's just by chance.
Right. But I mean, that's why I say, any woman who's single, she's single by choice, because women, they can have a man if they wanted to. Because we all know that men will, if a woman is disabled, they will sleep with that woman.
Right.
So that's how I see it. But I mean,
Okay.
I would rather, and I've tried this for a little bit. I'd rather have women who like me approach me, but that's never happened. That's never happened. That's like, for example, that's like me lighting a $20 bill right in front of you, and then you're like, "Why am I lighting this money on fire?" And then you reach out and grab the money from my hand. That's an example of you
Right.
going after what you want.
Right.
I don't know if that really makes sense to you, but
Right. Hold on 1 second, okay?
mhm.
Give me 1 second.
Mm. And cells, the nose build you into a beast. Well, to me, cells is
Okay.
that's different. That's not like women or a love romantic interest.
Someone asked you a question.
No, they were just saying something. And cells, the nose build you into a beast. But that's different. To me, that's different. That's not romantic or like love. Like that's different.
Right.
And
Right.
the chick that I was hollering at wasn't an IG model. She was actually a plain, homely looking young lady, if that was actually her, because this could have been someone in Africa 419 me. So
I mean, to be honest with you, that 8 grand you gave, you could have flossed on your wardrobe or whatever, and you could have picked up women just on the if you upgrade. I mean,
yeah,
to be
well,
honest with you.
I tell you, I do hate myself even more for that. But I know not to really do that again. So
Yeah. I'm gonna say, look, man, it's a learning experience. That's all I pretty much look at it as. It's a learning experience. It's an experience that happened. You seem to just have moved on from it, but I know it kind of, even though it may affect you a little bit, but I seem like you you know, kind of moved on. Before I continue, give a shout out to Full Circle for the $5 cash app. Appreciate that. That definitely goes to the Janice house. I mean, my thing is that, you know, I just don't want to see you taking advantage, being exploited like that. I mean, I'm telling you, what drove me to look at this is that, like, damn, man, you can't, people, this happens. You're not the only one. There's other guys that have gotten, that, there are tons of people who've given money and drove, 16 hours to see women and got turned around and stuff like that. So that happens,
Yeah,
that happens
right.
to guys. I mean, that there are people who've given money to other women and giving, you're not the only one that gave substantial cash outs, that
Yeah,
there's tons of people who've done some simp stuff, you know, and, because based on their situation, when you know get divorced and you lonely and things like that, you could be vulnerable to other women. That just happens. That's life. So that happens. So my thing is that, do you want me to open up the panel, or are you just good with just being? I wanted to get your permission before if you want to open up the panel, or you just want to do the interview and drop off, because I can provide that for you if you like.
Um, I mean, if you have any more questions and stuff, I guess we can do that and then open it up if you want.
Okay. Well, my main thing is that I hope that my discussion with you provided some level of perspective you may have not thought about, or if so, may revisit as far as how you go about doing things. I'm going to continue to have, communication with you. We're going to definitely talk about some things here and there. And that's pretty much it, man. I hope that I was able to provide some other perspective for you to kind of maybe
Yeah,
relook at things.
yeah, because I'll be honest, my father's more blunt and, he'll give it to you like how it is. Um, so, I mean, that's just it. But, he wasn't really too pleased to know that what I did. And he was always, he was even like, yeah, man, you're acting strange and stuff. You're not really open with me. Something must have happened, but
Right.
I didn't.
I mean,
How he,
I can understand
how,
as a father being
right,
upset.
how he reacts. I don't, I'm not really the type of person to get loud or yell at people or anything or get really animated. That's just how he is. Um,
Right.
but like talking to you, it's easier to open up to you, because of that.
Right. Right.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, people try and, oh, you're thirsty and this and that, but this is the struggle of a lot of men, and a lot of women would never know that
Man,
until
listen, psycho.
maybe they transition,
There are
into a
thirsty.
man.
There are thirsty men and women in this space.
Right. Well, we
There
know
are
that.
thirsty.
We
There are
know that.
thirsty women that have emailed me many times, and, and, and so and other content creators. They just don't talk about it. There are thirsty women and men in this space, both
Right. But
on
I
both
mean,
ends.
right,
Yes.
right. But I mean, this is my this my story. This is a reality for a lot of young men and a lot of older men. People
Right.
just seem to take it as a joke. Like it's not comical at all. It's something serious that really needs to be discussed and taken
Right.
seriously.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that, um, like I said, I'm not discouraging you from meeting women online, but I'm also going to reinforce that you meet more women offline. You know what I'm saying? The chances are a lot better offline.
Yeah, I
That's in my opinion. So that pretty much covers it.
think you kind of went out.
Individuals. I understand that one of the persons is in the chat, and she's, you know made herself known. It's okay. It's cool. She can give her perspective. I like her a lot. She cool. I like her. She got a little baby voice, but it's cool.
Right.
But I hey, that situation happened between you and her. It's out of my jurisdiction on that. So I'm going to conclude asking questions. So if you would like me to bring up people on the panel, I can definitely drop the link. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay. Now I'm going to Go ahead and drop the link for anybody that wants to come up. And I'm gonna probably be on for maybe another 30, 40 minutes. I'm not gonna go live too long. So guys, if anybody want to get the link, you can come up. I dropped the link. Anybody that wants to come up, you all can have a discussion and we can talk and chop it up. Expose the Manosphere said that he would hop on and talk. So
Yep, because I know you want to be on the panel. I know you want to be on the panel. Yeah, yeah.
what's up, Expose the Manosphere? How are you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing
Cool.
okay. Just just did a typical day of work at campus, and then came home just about 2 hours ago.
Okay. So is anything you want to just your perspective on anything that you heard today?
Well, I mean a lot, but I can't remember everything. But one thing I do want to say is that I do understand at 22, Joe, generally, when people age, they gradually stop caring what people think about them. And usually when you're like 21, 22, you still value people's opinions about yourself more than you should. I would say if you're in this space, I think it's quite important to really dismiss everything people say, because a lot of men and women in this space, they only have a sense of significance when they log onto YouTube. And if you were to observe these individuals in their actual life, you wouldn't be impressed. Actually, they will probably be average Joes, or in some cases below average Joes. And I
Exactly.
know that because I have, I never met them personally, but I know many of their real names, and you look them up, it's really nothing all that impressive whatsoever.
Yeah, I know I'm a nobody in real life.
Well, I wouldn't say no. I mean, you're still young and establishing yourself. I'm talking about some of these people are like in their 30s, 40s, and 50s.
50s. Man, the average, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's funny you stated that, and this is one reason why I'm not liked, is because when I show my receipts, that 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 triggers a lot of people who've never established that. So there are a lot of people on here who are who put on a facade as being more uh, successful than what they really are. And the bottom line is, when I hear the rhetoric and the context in which they verbalize, the way they make decisions and how they function, I don't hear success, because I'm around successful people all the time, and there's just certain things that some of these people do and say and so forth that's just not indicative of what real successful people do in real life. That's how I can gauge and decipher who's successful or not. Because there's a lot of things that I hear people saying, particularly as it deals with building wealth and functioning in certain circles. That's just not necessarily indicative of what real successful people of real means as far as how they operate. So I take it with a grain of salt. From my just That's just me.
Yeah, true. And I mean, another thing that came to mind too is the oh yeah, like the whole online relationships and taking dating advice. I'll be honest, I don't really take any dating advice from this space. And I've said this before, like if I came across this red pill stuff when I was like around Psychocandy's age, I probably would have fell for it. But I came across it when I was 26, and most of the advice people gave, it just contradicted my own live experience. One thing about dating advice is that when people deliver it, it's really if you were to follow it, you really would get the kind of women that they attract. And 9 times out of 10, that's it. You won't even be compatible with those kind of women in the first with those kind of women in the first place.
Right.
So, almost any kind of dating advice in real life, and even especially online, I take with a grain of salt, because I just my own personal experiences contradict a lot what is preached in this space.
Right. Yeah. So what's going on, brother?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, LaFame. What's up?
What's going on, Derell? How you
I'm here, man.
going on? Psycho, I had suggested to you that sales would be something good for you to get into, and you said no. Why is that?
Because that's different. You're shilling products. I can take a no. I mean, I've had stuff where I work right now. We have to collect customers' emails, and they tell me no every day, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I don't have anything to gain from that. I have nothing to
You
gain.
you looking at it as selling products, but you're selling yourself. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't buy from you either. You don't sound confident not only in yourself, but if you don't sound confident in yourself, you won't sound confident in the product. Sales teaches you different techniques that you can apply to the dating world. That confidence, that posture, that those no's is what builds you up. Nobody jumps into any kind of selling, real estate, whatever it is, and get 100% yes. It teaches you how to appreciate the numbers game, and then it gets fun. Then it challenges you. I'm gonna turn these no's into yes, and you take that and you apply it with women, or you apply it with any other hustle or any other thing you got going on. It's not about selling a product. It's about selling yourself. You selling yourself every day when you walk out into this world. You mean to tell me if it's a crowd of 100 women, you can't pull one? You know why? Because you're not confident. They can smell it, man. Like lions can smell meat. They can smell it. What's wrong with him? Don't nobody want to be around a downer. But you carry yourself different, and you'll see some results.
Any
This
comments,
coming from some
Psychocandy?
word. This is
No,
coming from somebody, bro. I wasn't in my shell like you, but I was in my shell too in my earlier years. Very, very introverted, very private, very, and I could relate to what you had said earlier when you were young. You were young and you felt like you more mature than all your friends and everybody, so you don't relate. That's how I felt too. I was young. I was making good money. I was on my own. A lot of my friends still lived at home and whatever. So I started feeling like I can't relate. I need new friends and everything. You just go through that very weird period, but you gotta don't. And you also suggested maybe taking some meds for it. If you want to go all the way down, do that, because that's not gonna help nothing. That's just gonna turn you into a pharmaceutical customer for the rest of your life. And on them pills, ain't no telling how long you gonna. So you got to get out your head, man. You in your head, you throwing salt on your own game. You knocking yourself. You just talking down on yourself. You not even shit. The world not even talking down on you like you talking down on you. How you gonna do that? Nah, man, you got to get out your head, bro. And you know, I would suggest picking up a trade, picking up something that will bring you out that shell. Will teach you something. You said you in sales right now. You get told no every day. Go to work tomorrow with the goal of getting one yes, and then the next day another yes. You know what I'm saying? Set little goals for yourself, but stop digging your own grave, bro. You 21 years old. You still not. It's some clubs I'll be around that you got to be 25 and up to get into. You're not even old enough to do a lot of shit yet. Real talk. So like, relax is my suggestion. Get out your head, and you know it's cool, man. You 21, and that's all I wanted to say, y'all.
Okay, yeah. I mean, definitely giving them, advice and so forth. I mean, we the thing, Psycho Candy. I think that what we're trying to convey is that we can sense the lack of self confidence, self assurance, as it causes a stifling in you having the wherewithal to just thrust yourself into that scene of just speaking, talking, kind of throwing yourself into dating and getting to know women. And when you allow those no's of yesterday to get to serve as a roadblock, it basically creates that environment of you basically second guessing yourself. And I just think that it's at a point now, I think, in your own development as a man or just as a person itself, it's time to start working at minimizing that. And it could be done. I've seen it. I've worked with many men in my career with that had this very issue. So this is something to me. I don't. It's something that can be corrected. I've corrected this for 20 years. So what's up, Flacco?
Yo, listen, man. Like, I completely 1,000% understand where guys like Psycho Candy is coming from, right? Because listen, man, like, he's not the problem, right? But the problem is, right, is he wants to date black women, right? But like these black women, or not attracted to the quirky, nerdy, artsy guy, right? So I feel like
So wait,
right,
wait a minute, Flock. So you telling me you never seen a black woman date a nerdy, quirky guy?
rare.
Now
Like
I've
it's
seen
rare.
many of them. I've seen many black women date nerdy looking, geeky guys that don't necessarily represent the collective. I've
If
seen
they're
that.
rich, yeah. If they're rich, yeah, right. But
No,
like
no.
normal.
I've seen some bad chicks date guys that play video games and they like all kind of eclectic music and all kinds of
But that's
stuff.
rare, right?
That
Right,
happens, man.
But that's rare, right?
No, it's not rare. It may
Come
not be.
on.
It may not be. It may not be something you see on a day-to-day basis, but it happens.
Listen, right? That's my point, right? So we don't correct guys like him as as a solution, right? We say, yo, females, let's teach you guys to appreciate men like Psychocandy so he don't feel neglected.
Flacco, how
That's
you
the
gonna
solution.
tell black women what to like and not to like?
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah,
If-
you telling you can't tell women what to like and not what they want and don't want.
Because they're traumatizing him, though. They're
Traumatized what?
traumatizing him. Yeah, through neglect. But they're
What
traumatizing
neglect?
him through neglect.
They don't have to date him if they don't want to.
But listen, right?
Wait a minute. No black man is entitled to a date.
No. Listen, right? I'm trying to tackle, right, the reason why they not dating him, right? Is because
Okay, so you telling me you telling me the reason why they don't want to date him because he's nerdy and quirky.
yes,
But what
he's
about the
different.
black men who are also nerdy and quirky and they get dates?
That's rare.
That's not rare.
Look, come on, listen.
That is not rare. Flacco, stop it.
Yeah, so are you addressing something more about social class? Because I mean, that's just not the case where I live, I would say. I mean, where I grew up somewhat, but it was actually something that expanded across race and ethnicity, but I don't see that now.
Wait. Look, right? Look. But let's right. Ask him, right? Hey, Psychocandy, do you feel like, again, black women, right, judge you because you are kind of passive and shy and artsy and nerdy? Do you feel like they neglect you because of those reasons?
He's talking to you, Psychocandy.
Do I feel like I'm being neglected by women for those attributes?
By black women.
In a sense, yes, the majority of black women, but
Thank you.
I would also maybe opt to say the majority of women in general. Take
Thank you.
like a man. Take like Ben Carson for example. Ben Carson doesn't get any women's panties wet. You know.
Right.
He's what? Wait. Say that again.
Ben Carson don't get women panties wet.
You want to bet?
Oh wow!
Rich now, rich
Are
now,
you
right?
losing your mind? If you think a brain surgeon is not getting a lot of black women or any woman's panties wet, you losing your mind.
But that's now though, right? The young Ben Carson didn't do it, right? So like guys like Psychocandy, right?
Wait a minute. You talking about the most successful brain surgeon in his generation?
We're talking about
not getting women. Are you?
No,
you know how
talking
many
about back
doctors
then
and
when he
nurses?
was young though.
Wait a minute. Wait. See this is letting me know that y'all the circles. See what you all are showing is that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Because in highly successful environments, your intellect, your intelligentsia is more important, and the fact of your importance and your success than how nerdy you may appear, because they're looking at that. Ben Carson commands a certain level of attention and power that women are drawn to. So I don't know what y'all talking about.
No, who you're saying, right? Right. Listen, right. Look,
brother,
Obama was
look.
getting attention.
Listen.
Wait, let me
than
just
Clinton.
Listen, man.
wait. Let me just unpack
I
it for
had
you, right?
college professors.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I had college professors that were nerdier as can be. And they had young 22, 21-year-olds flocking at
Because
them.
they're rich now, though. Listen,
And they were
yeah.
nerdy as can be, as awkward as can be, but because they were highly intelligent,
And
highly
rich.
knowledgeable, and were in a position of power, those women were attracted to him.
And that's
This
what we're
happened.
saying, right? Is how can a 22-year-old kid, right, who right, hasn't accomplished, wealth yet, education yet, right? How can he get laid?
How can he? I just
Yeah.
talked to him about things he's going to have to adjust for himself. Those are things. There are things within
Why
himself
should he
he's going to have
adjust,
to
though?
change.
Why shouldn't those women adjust?
Because you can't. Okay, so that means, okay, Flacco, instead of you liking women with big titties and big breasts, why don't you like a chick that's a size 16 and overweight? You gonna adjust?
But that's
I'm
unhealthy.
listening.
No, that's different,
No.
right?
That's not. No. Since we want to talk about adjusting, so you're going to adjust your standard. You asking women to adjust, so I want you to adjust. Instead of you dating a 7, 8, 9, I want you to date a 4. You adjust.
That's not the equivalent, right? So the
No,
equivalent,
it is.
right, is going to be
No. You're asking.
Sure.
You're asking black women to adjust what they like. So that means you're going to have to adjust what you like.
Not just unpack it, right?
It goes both ways,
what,
Flacco.
Wait. So what I'm trying to say, right, is like black men, right? We aren't drawn to ratchet. We aren't drawn to hood shit, right? Black women are drawn to overly aggressive, overly masculine. You feel me? Hood niggas, street niggas, ratchet niggas, right?
Where you got that? Where you get that from? That's not true, Flacco. That is not true.
Telling you.
Now, is there a certain percentage of black women that may like that? Yes. But the majority of black women don't like that. They complaining on the internet right now because of them making past mistakes of dealing with those type of men. What are you talking about?
After 4 or 5 baby daddies, yeah. You feel me, right? You feel me? At that time, it's too late, right?
No. According to who?
Man, come on, Uncle.
No. You the same age as Psychocandy. We getting one
men,
end of the spectrum.
Come on, man. Look, do you want a female with
come on,
like
Flacco? Your perspectives are unfounded, Flacco. Flacco, you're speaking your opinion, but those opinions are unfounded without evidence, brother. You're not looking at the totality of black. You're looking at certain women. Of course, there are certain black women that like Pookies and Ray Rays. They are. But there's another percentage that don't.
I don't know.
Get older,
it's kind of tricky because the chick that I told you about that I was dealing with at work, I did look at her Instagram profile just to kind of survey some things, check some things out. And she had a photo of herself, and it was captioned, "I put a hood nigga in his feelings." So I mean, I don't really want to make any assumptions, but we can already kind of rule something out there.
Come on.
So
and
you
this girl,
from
what I thought she was in person, I didn't think she was like that.
Come on.
Well, to me, when I hear that, I'm interpreting as that she turned down a hood guy. That wasn't a positive phrase. She said that I put a hood nigga in his feelings. Okay, that's not something positive. That's negative. It sounds like she turned down a guy that was hood.
No, it's
right.
Men to fall in love.
So what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I was definitely gonna comment really quick. Whenever I hear this conversation, I do laugh because it's so generalizing, and it's a complaint I've heard growing up around Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican men will say the same thing about Puerto Rican women, but a lot of it really is rooted in social class. Because if you're talking about the totality of women, I mean, if you're talking about like a black woman who is more like a upper middle class environment, she's likely not gonna even be in informal social settings with people of that caliber. And I do. So whenever we talk about these conversations, it's kind of bizarre to me how people just overlook class as if it's a non-issue. Like I said, I'm not going to say women like that don't exist, but I think it's largely related more to social class than race.
Right. Well, I was in high school, and I know this doesn't count because it was high school. There was this beautiful girl. She was chocolate dark skinned girl, ran on the track team and all. I approached her. She said no. But then I turn around and see her with a mediocre looking white guy. So it's like,
Because maybe she was in the white guys.
well, she was. She said that. White guys
Okay,
and
so
Mexican.
why are you surprised? You just answered your own question.
No, but Uncle,
Well,
right?
she didn't tell me that, but it was known. You know, you can.
Okay,
There's an
so
air
so so, so
to people like that.
psycho candy. So was she required to tell you that?
What was that?
Was she required to tell you that?
No, I can just
Okay.
pick it up. There's an air about some people that they're into certain guys.
Okay.
You know,
Because
certain
see,
women.
this is the texture of this conversation is starting to sway in the area of I present a certain type of attributes that are not necessarily deemed attractable to certain women, but we're going to have to change the women's perspective on that to fit what I am. And so
Well,
there's a danger in doing that because then you're going to have to do vice versa. That means that Lizzo is going to be considered fine. So that means Flacco, men going to have to choose on Lizzo. Is
We are
that what you're willing
strictly
to do?
talking about his character,
No,
right?
no, 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 no.
The
Is that what you're
personality.
willing to do? Are you willing to have to choose Lizzo?
That's no. No.
No, wait, no.
No,
See,
no.
you
But they're
cannot
equivalent
you
though.
cannot expect it to be one-sided, brother. It has to go both sides. Because then what we're doing is, and I hate to bring him up, because that's the whole, to me, that's the foundation of the issue that Kevin Samuel brings up. Is basically what we're talking about right now. Is him telling black women that you're at a certain level, you want all of this from black men, but you're not providing equal to what would attract that particular high value man.
Right.
So that means that the status of where these black women are not is not conducive to what high value men want. Therefore, you need to change. Because that's what I mean. Exposed. Let me know if I'm hearing something different, because that's the context that I'm gathering from this conversation. What's
In
what's your
terms of
what's your perspective
wait, what's the question in particular?
in regards to wanting certain, let's say the opposite sex, because because a certain person inherently lacks certain characteristics that the other sex does not deem as attractive. The onus is on the the opposite sex to change their perception of what is attractive to fit what that other person has.
hmm I mean, on an individual basis, I mean, a person, I don't know what I go above and beyond to get the attention from one person who's not that interested in me. I would definitely
But but
say
but
that.
but 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 what I'm saying is that isn't that what Kevin Samuels is saying in regards to telling black women who think that they should get a high value man, that you're not necessarily that based on. So we're looking at psycho candy based on personality, behavioral attributes. So,
hmm
but then for these women, Kevin Samuels is saying your height, weight, how many children, were you married? Isn't that to me congruent to that? But from a
Similarly,
male
yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, it is pretty similar. I mean, I don't listen to Kevin Samuels because if you've seen one episode, you've seen pretty much all of them.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, he does kind of kind of lambast women for whatever kind of attributes that he sees as flaws, even though it's really just his opinion and not necessarily reflective of whatever an individual would actually want or desire.
So my question is, Flacco, I'm leading
Hmm.
to how do you expect black women to change what they like? You're asking for a cultural change in what they like
Yes.
because of certain guys not having certain attributes
Right. And
or lack
here's
thereof.
why, right? Why, right? Because what they like is unhealthy, and right. And here's what I mean by that, right? Look, let's be honest, bro. Right? We as black folks, a large portion of us grow up in the hood or, all right, less than middle class environments. So when growing up in those environments, you date by proximity. So the women that's available to you are females who are also in either the hood or less than middle class environments. All right. So they are drawn to niggas who are hood, ratchet. Again, not all, but the majority of them are drawn to that, right? So now we can't say, look, Psychocandy, you change to fit what they like when they like the toxic, ratchet hood niggas
No,
who
Flock,
never
Flock,
gonna
that's
ever
not
be
true.
nothing.
That
Well, I
so
mean,
so
I
so
wouldn't
so
want
Flock, what you're
those
doing is
women anyway.
generalizing that every black person in the hood like the same thing.
No, I said
And
most,
you
not
not
all.
understand just because a person live in the hood doesn't mean that they don't have different values.
I said most, though, not all, just most.
Okay, what is most? Because my thing is this: a large percentage of black people live in rural areas. They also live in medium-sized cities. Yeah, and to me, I think your assessment to me would be more appropriate for those who live in the inner that live in larger cities, that the majority of black people may live in those particular in those poor poverty-stricken environments. But outside of major cities, I don't think that particular perspective would be correct, because there are black people that live in rural areas. There are black people that live in small cities. They live in suburbs. I mean, it's pretty spread out. I mean, I would not just say majority of black people live in the hood.
Oh, quick question,
That's
right?
not true.
Right. Listen, though, right? Oh, quick question, right? Right? Just taking just black folks on a grand scale, right? Do you think the majority,
Let me ask you
meaning
this,
51
Flacco.
plus percent?
Would an indigenous African like Psycho Candy? Female,
No,
totally different culture. Was she like? How many African women do you know would say yes to Psycho Candy?
very few.
Okay, so but hold on, that's a totally different culture. Still a black woman, but from a totally different culture. Yet you still think that the result will be the same.
They like that hood shit too.
No, not really. I
But
mean, if I
Flacco's not.
my
Is Liberian, so that's why I'm asking him that question.
well, my people are from Honduras, and I mean, if I go back and I'd probably pull a girl from there, whether she's dark
That's not
skinned,
Africa,
light
right?
skinned.
Is that Africa or like desert islands, right?
No, it's Central America.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it could be a cultural thing. I mean, it could be the U.S. I don't know.
Right. But bro,
Okay.
listen, man, bro,
What's up?
look though.
What's up, Spirit Mouse?
Well, yeah, okay, go ahead, bro.
What's up, Spirit Mouse?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Not much. I'm just kind of listening to you all discussing, just kind of waiting for my time to chime in.
It's your time now.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. If somebody, I'm married and I got 2 kids. I mean, a lot of times you just gotta just find stuff to do. Like just different skills and everything like that. I've noticed a lot of times, you know, women like men not only with stuff to talk about, but with stuff that they actually can physically do, and then show them, this is what I have, this is what I have going on.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it a lot easier a lot of times too.
Okay.
Facts. Yeah.
Well, we kind of did discuss that a little bit, as far as things that you like to talk about, being more well-rounded and being engaged in certain things as far as your profession and so forth. I mean, could be deemed more attractive to women per se. Um, I mean, there's a lot of different strategies that can be looked at.
Right. But like, how can we advise Psycho Candy to say, look, man, you changed to fit what they want when he's a nice guy, all right? He's smart, he's educated, right? He's just a quirky nerd, right? And women tend not to like the nice guy who is super nice, is super passive, is just an overall nice guy who's going to treat them well, right? So I don't feel like he should change, right? Like we should do a collective effort in trying to educate women on why
Peace
they
and
should treat
love,
men like
peace
him.
and love,
Hold on,
peace
son.
and love.
All right, go ahead, brother.
Right? Like, we should do a collective effort, right, in trying to teach women on why they should love guys like Psychocandy, and not tell him to change, right? We need to teach them
Right, but Flacco, you just said women. Flacco, you just stated women in your own culture would not like. So you're gonna be willing to teach African women that they should change from what they traditionally like.
It starts from your household, right? Like, for example, like
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Really?
Listen,
So
right?
how you gonna do that?
Yeah, right. And here's how, right? Look, it starts from your household, right? I will personally instill in like my daughters, bro. Look, these guys right here, they're the primes, they're the alpha. All right, this nerd guy, he's the alpha male. You go for him, right? And if we all teach and instill that into our daughters, bro, by 20, 30 years, right? That problem will be fixed. You feel me? Yo, yo, he's perfect, right? He's a nice, perfect guy. He don't need to change at all. It's those women, they're the villains.
Well, I mean, people are gonna like what they like. You can't stop them from liking what they like. I just look at it like this. Those people are gonna be left behind. Oh well, that's on them. Because I mean, there is.
Do you date white
Do
girls,
I?
bro?
Huh?
I said, do you date white girls?
No.
No?
No.
Wait, why not?
Have you seen them
Wait a
after
minute, Flacco.
after age 35? They age number one. They age terribly. Number two. Number two. I could never ever date an American white person. Just knowing the history of this country.
White girls will love you, bro. White girls will fucking worship you, man.
I'll be careful about
White
that.
girls will adore you.
I mean, I know they. I mean, I know they do. I mean, I work at Joanna around them all the time, but still, there's.
I don't know about that,
black
guys.
women are neglecting you, right? And traumatize you. Why not date white women?
Wait, I got to comment on that.
This is where the disconnect.
Okay, so wait. I want to hear what Exposed Manosphere has to say about that. You seem a bit turned on that.
Yeah, because like I said, I grew up in diverse communities. Most people I actually dated romantically or even casually have been asked to be white and black because I haven't lived around a whole lot of black people most of my life. Yeah, when it comes to white women, I notice a lot of people on YouTube, they tend to have this like grass is greener complex. And when you're a black guy, you do a white woman, you got like different caricatures. So you have those white women who like fetishize black men, those who kind of rebel against their parents or have a desire to have like a mixed race child. And even a lot of things that guys in the space complain about, like black women, I've seen those same traits among white women too. There's definitely a white woman that wants stereotypical black men. I mean, I literally have been turned down because I wasn't quote unquote black enough. by some white woman I met in the past.
Right.
So yeah, it's I could usually when people in the space talk about interracial dating, I could tell within like a few seconds whether they have experience dating outside their race or whether they're talking in theory. And I know that because usually they never talk about like the downsides of it all. And yeah, white women are definitely not shun sign, all shun sign. It's still a lot of the same issues actually. And it's different from a racial dynamic.
I'm gonna call out Psychocandy because he said that he doesn't date white women. Then why would he go around showing a picture of his white girlfriend that he was dating not too long ago? Was that a lie or what?
It wasn't a lie. She was Italian. She's not a white American.
When did that happen?
That happened a couple of months ago at Miss Elite's channel.
What?
Yes. It was she was so-called Italian.
So I don't think you should even. This guy doesn't represent men. I don't even think he likes women in the first place. But not to. I'm just gonna
wait. Hold on. Let's not make those accusations.
That's too far, man. Yeah, that's too far. Man.
Now, Psychocandy, could you explain that?
Yes. You know the girl that I told you about, the with the 7-8K? She's Italian. She was so-called from Italy, if she's even real.
Okay,
Because that
that's the one you gave $8,000 to.
right,
Wow.
not in all one go, but yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Huh?
Let me. Okay, I'll bring out the receipt.
Give her 8K? For
I'll
what?
bring out the
Yeah, give
receipt.
8K.
For what?
Flacco, stop.
Ultra simping.
Stop it, Flacco.
Man. Wait, hold on. You
Stop.
gave a colonizer 8,000, bro?
Flacco.
Hold on. Let me find the image.
No,
Flacco,
no.
stop.
We believe
Bring
you.
up
We believe you.
the fake
But why
picture.
did you do it? Like, answer that question. Why did you do it? We believe you, but why did you do it?
We already been through that, Flock. They had an ongoing relationship that wasn't what he thought it was. Let's just put it like that.
Man.
That was her. Can y'all see that?
You gave her 8,000?
Nah, we can't see that.
Bro, I can get you at least 20 women, right? You could smash and deep dick for fucking $500, bro, a piece.
Flacco, stop it. Stop.
Come on, that's the truth. You can find
That's
some
true.
baddies in Houston. You can smash for $500.
That's
you can find some baddies.
That's if this girl was even real.
Man, I'm gonna be man.
That's what Jose is talking about. Vic Dick Garcia 2.0. That's what he's talking about.
Man, I don't know, guys. What y'all want to say about that?
Bro, she's Italian. Supposedly, her father's an Italian man, and her mother's a mixed Italian Ghanaian woman, or Ghanaian woman.
Bro, it's 1,000% Igbo guy, bro. Those niggas is devious, bro. God damn. Wow, man. 8,000 just like that. Wait, so
it wasn't all in one go. Anyway, that's what he's talking about. But she's Italian. She's not a white American. There's a complete difference between the two, I would say.
So, right. White girls, bro, will fucking worship the ground you walk on, bro.
They will not do that.
Okay.
They didn't want to walk. You feel me right now? Like, she did. You feel me right? But, yo, but, bro, I'm telling you, right, bro? Listen, man, look. The crap that you will have to deal with in any other race, why even, listen, right? Why even say, look, I'm only gonna date black women exclusively? Why make that choice?
I mean, I don't date black women. I've never really been attracted to black women exclusively. That's the only reason.
Got you. So
I try and be pro-race, but
who do you date then? Like Spanish, Asian, what?
Yeah, I knew a chick that was Peruvian and Japanese who I liked back in the day. Yeah.
Listen up, black women.
But I'm more disconnected. Right? I'm disconnected from my Latin heritage.
See, black women, right? Look, black women, listen up, black women. Due to you guys' action, y'all are driving off. All right, great top tier men like this guy right here, bro. Just listen up, very
You just said women in your own culture would not date them. So what are you talking about?
Bruh. African women are a piece of shits too. I mean, honest.
Right? Come on, Jesus, dude. Come on, man.
Wait. Question. Are you telling me, right, the African women aren't greedy and money centric?
Some of them.
Come on, man. Majority of them are,
It all depends.
All of them.
Bro, African women are gold diggers extraordinaire.
Sure. But let me to Verbal Assassin, what's up, Queen? Yeah, you can use the audio, baby. Fair use is all good. You can take whatever you want from this video. I'm all good with it.
even
let
for
me can
nefarious
I say
purposes.
something quick, real D Derell to Psycho Candy, real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
I have a question for all the men. Whether you meet a woman online,
Tinder.
whether you meet a woman, whichever the case may be online, first and foremost, you're dialoguing. Certain things will give you a hint. Within a week or two, depending on the conversation between you and the person, you go on WhatsApp and ask them to talk to you prompt video to video. So the question I have for Psycho Candy, did he see this person on any video?
No, but I did hear her voice.
Oh,
You
no,
didn't.
no.
Oh, come
That
on.
is not good. That is not good. Any man, for future reference, I don't know what's going on with some of you so-called black men. The internet is so skewed that you could find out if you're dealing with somebody that's the opposite sex. Be mindful, some of them are very catfish. You got a lot of men that be women. This is serious. This is not laughing matter. Stop thinking with your small head and think with your logic, because a lot of people are scamming, especially in other countries and even in America, because they know a lot of men is gullible. Psycho Candy, learn from this, own up to it, don't do it again, man.
Oh,
Real
I owned
talk.
up to it. No, I'm not doing
Because
it again.
because it could have been more dangerous. People get kidnapped. I'm not playing with y'all. Some people, they find out where you at, they kidnap you. D. Derell know what I'm talking about. Some of the guys on here know what I'm talking about. This stuff could lead to that. Your vulnerability to have you killed, man. Real talk.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
it's
I got
happened.
a game out here, man. And I used to be in the streets, so I know what I'm talking about, man. And I'm talking to some Arizona.
Right. What's
That's
up,
all I want
conscious
to say,
energy?
D. Derell. I'm out.
All right. What's up, conscious
Jesus is
energy? Go ahead,
hilarious.
brother. What's up?
Hey, brother D. Derell, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother.
Man, I'm just sitting back listening to the topic, man, listening to everybody, with their different opinions, man. I just want to say, man, I appreciate,
We need
you
an intro,
having.
man. Come on, man.
I just
We need
want to
an
say,
intro.
man, I appreciate you, man, having this dialogue, man, because a lot of people needed to hear that, man. So I just want to say, yeah, man, I like the content, man, and peace and blessings to everybody on the panel, man. What's up, Poetic Flacco, man?
Thank you.
What's the deal, man?
Man, we ain't get the intro, man. You just like feel me? Like we ain't get the intro, man.
Man, peace and love, peace and love. This is Conscious Energy speaking to you with the spectacular binocular,
Woo!
doing it all legal. So
Uh-huh.
I can fly like an eagle. Family, I'm
Ah.
sending y'all tons of good energy. Take that. Family, we just
In that good ass.
breathing in that good air.
Love it, man.
Already.
I love it, man.
Already, man. D. Derell, the Godfather, man. Show some respect when the Godfather talking, man.
Man.
All right, conscious energy.
Right.
Hey, man, y'all take care. I'm out, man.
Okay, man.
See ya.
Okay. So, I mean, my thing is that I'm looking at it from this perspective. As we talk about this, I think that if we limit it to just the whole context of dating itself, I think that there are just other behavioral personality attributes that affect whether or not you're going to be successful or not. And we just can't look at it from the confines of how many yeses I get, how many no's I get, or who wants to date me, who doesn't want to date me. I think that if there is some further improvement in personality development, behavioral development, I think that your overall perception can change where you could think things would be done, think you could be looked upon as or perceived differently. That's just my perspective. You sound like you're open to that,
Me?
Psycho Candy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know I can. I mean, I know I can get somewhere. There's a chick that I talked to online, of course. She said that if I lived near her, that she'd be open to dating me. So I mean, I know, but it's just like I said, my area and the women that I approach, I think oftentimes, they're not who they aren't who they really say they are, in a way.
Right.
You
Why
know,
online? Why not in person?
or maybe I kind of hype them up in my head to be a certain way. You know, and I get one-itis.
Right.
You know, so I do need to not really focus on one woman. It's kind of difficult for me to do, but
Well, my thing is that if you're not a person that's into meeting multiple women, that's fine. I mean, if that's your personality makeup. But
right, I don't have like I can't focus on more than one
but
woman.
even though you're not focusing on more than one, there's nothing wrong with meeting other women to determine whether or not you want to take it further. Because in the dating process, you can vet multiple women at one time and then you decide who you want to concentrate on. You don't have to limit yourself. Just because you meet a woman doesn't mean you have to invest all of your attention into that person if you don't know how far you want to take that relationship.
Right. And Moonlight Witch, I'm not blaming black women at all. I don't think I've blamed black women, not to the extent that many of these you Manosphere YouTubians have. You know, I've never really said too much negative about black women, really. So
Right. I agree.
yeah, you know, but I mean, I'm open to black women. I don't really like. I don't really care. You know, like I said, for me, it was never really. It was never really oh black women are this. It was all women in general. Like that's.
Wait, who turns you down the most though?
I guess I would say like maybe Latinas since I was out in Texas at the time.
Wait, who turn you down the most, or like in person interactions, and who turn you down the most?
In person, because out where I was, there weren't really too many.
Black women.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't really even like white women. You know, I don't really kind of recall seeing in numbers like that compared to here in Louisiana. You know, but yeah,
You in the country.
yeah, somewhat. I guess Baton Rouge could be considered country by some standards. I'm from New Orleans.
I mean, Baton Rouge is it's a mid-sized city, about 200 to 300,000 people. I
Right,
mean,
New Orleans is more urban.
you got two universities, you got a community college. Baton Rouge is about 55% black.
Mm.
So I mean, you bet it's Louisiana is not a very diverse state. It's mainly it's like 35% black, 60% white, and then 4% everything else. So it's not a diverse state. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
the
Can I ask you a
chances of you
question?
meeting, I mean, outside of New Orleans and Baton Rouge, you're not going to find like a lot of Asian, Indian, and Hispanic people and stuff like that. You're not going to find a lot of that. So, but
Ask you a
there
question.
are a lot of. Go ahead, Flock.
Yes, it's Candy, right? So okay, rate yourself, right? From 1 to 10, rate yourself. Like just also looks and for the whole package.
Me?
Yeah.
I I don't know. I just you can't really rate people by a number.
Rate yourself, I said. Like, you feel me? Like from 1 to 10, how attractive do you think you are?
I don't know. Maybe like 4 or 5.
4, 5, what? Look, which
Saying
one?
average. He's rating himself
Do you
average.
think you are average or below average? A 4 is below average. 5 is average.
I'd say below average.
Sure.
Is going to Kevin Samuels thing or what?
No, wait, no.
Oh Lord.
How big is your
Justin
dick, bro?
Six.
Listen, right? No, wait. Please listen, right? I'm getting to a point, right? So wait 1 second, people. I'll be right back.
All right. So you rate yourself
Anyway,
you rate yourself a 4 or 5, right?
right. I mean, I can't really like. I've never been good with rating people on numbers. Certainly not myself, but
Well, I mean,
yeah,
but there were other women you said in the chat rated you as being cute, and cute is higher than a 4 and a 5.
yeah. I mean that they can say I'm cute, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna want to be with me.
Well, but you shouldn't expect that. I mean, some women just gonna think you're cute. Just because a woman think you're cute may not mean you're compatible. May not
Well,
mean
then
they want to
stop.
date. But they still can like how you look.
Well, then don't say I'm cute. Like, stop that.
Yeah, but
It's
it's just a they're just basically just giving you a compliment, a basic compliment.
An icebreaker.
Yeah, I mean, I tell women they look good or they look nice. That don't mean I want to date them, but I just that's just me being nice.
Hmm.
I mean, I call a lot of the women that I see in the space. I may say, "Hey, you looking good today, Queen," or if they cam up, they have their makeup, hair done. I mean, I don't mean I want to date them or nothing, but I just giving them a compliment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just part of just socializing. You know what, Psycho? What about? Have you ever thought about um just having a bunch of? Have you ever had women as friends?
Yeah, I used to a lot. I used to have a lot of women as friends back in school, but they were like after
I
high
mean,
school. I didn't
as
hear
an
from
adult,
great users.
as an adult.
Uh, not not too much. No.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
I have like maybe two internet friends who are women online. But other than that, in real life, I would say not really. I don't really have any friends in real life. I just go to work. I have people that I work with, and that's it. I mean, they're all women. They're beautiful, enjoyable women to work around, but no.
I mean, because one way to get because my thing is that I've seen guys that have friends, all their women, all of their friends are women, and women like if they find someone even if they're not willing to date you, they
Mm,
probably may have a friend or two that may potentially be interested in you, or because they speak so positive of you based on you of their friendship. Because women talk about guys,
I mean,
their friends, and so the women talk. And
right.
so, if you are deemed as a very positive, very good friend that has certain characteristics that they like and other women may like, they talk about that to other women, and that could spark their curiosity to get to know you.
Right, but then again, you also have women that have friends who are like
Yeah,
kind of.
but see, you're gonna get all aspects of that. It's not you. It's not gonna be weighted on either side. You're gonna get a mixture of women that yeah, they may talk and may have an attitude. This other one may be this or that, and then you may be like, okay, well, he sounds interesting. Maybe I, you know, hang out with y'all one day to see if this is somebody I may be interested in talking to.
I guess, but I mean that's never happened. Like I said, maybe if I move or something, I could see that happening. Maybe a change of environment. But for now, no.
All right, I'm back, man. Right, so here, right. So back to my question, right. So you say you are four right now. What type of females do you go for from 1 to 10? Are they 8s, 9s, 6, 7, 6, 5s? Like, who do you look to date?
Mm,
You like fat chicks?
No.
no, because I'm
One
not
to
fat.
10.
What's wrong
One
with
to
a
10.
fat chick, dude? You got a big ol'
I'm
ass.
I'm not fat. That's like me. That's like someone
Hey,
with tattoos. I don't have
fat
tattoos.
chicks like skinny guys like you.
Let me answer the question though, right? From 1 to 10, right?
Wait,
What kind
what
do you date?
happened? Oh, I'd say maybe like
Who do you look for? I mean,
who do I look for?
yeah. From 1 to 10, like what's like yo, like I can't date females who are below this.
I mean, I don't really have like that. I don't use a rating system.
You would
I
date a
go,
2,
yeah. I mean,
Come on,
to me,
block,
it's about
really?
huh?
the personality.
Wow. Like, come on,
What's
man.
up with that hair?
He's a nice guy, yo. He's telling you guys, bruh, I don't even care about how you look, man. It's about how good your heart is. And
Well,
these
I mean,
women are so neglected. Come on, bro.
according to the fools here on YouTube, apparently, a good heart won't pay the bills. I mean, they're right, but like, god damn.
Right. Someone said hook up with. Hey man, yo,
You
y'all
gotta
not right.
stop.
Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Yo, y'all not right, bro.
They need to stop.
Do you know who Rap G is, bro?
So
No.
Hey man,
you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Hey, listen, man.
So
Rap
guys,
G-
I'm about to go ahead and wrap this up, brothers. I'm about to wrap it up. We're at the 2:25 mark. So anybody have any last words before I wrap it up? This definitely been a very interesting interview. And Psycho Ken, I definitely would like to reconvene maybe another show with you, maybe in about another 2 to 3 weeks if you ever game for it.
If I ever what?
If you're game in 2 to 3 weeks,
Oh,
maybe do it maybe another show with me again on a different topic.
sure. Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start with expose the Manosphere. Any last words?
Sorry, I was unmuted. No, I don't have anything else to say. I know that the conversation kind of went into some very odd territories.
As
So,
always.
my bad, my brother. My
yeah, I
bad.
just say. I know it's okay. I mean, I was actually multitasking. Other than that, no, I don't really have anything to say. I hope everybody has a good night.
All right, man. Appreciate you for coming on the panel.
Alrighty.
Okay, Spirit Mouse.
Yeah, my only thing to say is, when you're looking at women and finding what you see attractive in them and everything like that, look for, I would say, skills and stuff that they have that make them a necessity for you. A lot of the
Right.
things that a lot of times you see men talking about is, how they look and all that. That stuff isn't going to do anything. You need like a woman with some real survival skills, or at least enough sense to know that she has to be around a man that's trying to get some real survival skills.
Right.
And that will bring out the attractiveness in it. That's what I feel like.
Right. I mean, I used to have a whole bunch of requirements, but now I've condensed them to two. She has to be able to solve problems, or to problem solve, and come from a stable environment.
Wow. Okay. You're demanding.
That's not demanding. I mean, if a person comes from a broken home, that can cause a lot of problems in a relationship.
Right.
And I mean, you would want a woman to know how to problem solve, because that's what
Yeah.
life really is about. In marriage, you in the case of marriage, you can't just. I mean, you can get out, but to me, that's a bit too cheap. You it's more. It takes a lot to work and stay in, and that's what a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to work with each other. They expect everybody to have things. And I think social media also kind of contributes to that too.
Right. I agree.
People okay, you have Kevin Samuels talking about the whole high value man thing, but then there's guys like myself. We're starting out in life. We have almost nothing. I had something, but now I have nothing. I'm starting all over again. But
All
then you
right.
have people like Kevin Samuels, high value man nonsense.
I
So
just want to make a last comment. Everybody take care, and Psychocandy, get a haircut, you hippie.
How about
All
you
right,
show your
man.
face, troll?
Okay. All right. Any last words, Psychocandy? This has been really fun, man. Been really fun. Definitely like to engage with you again, but any last words before we wrap it up?
Uh, I would like to. I guess I'll show it next time. I have a class photo of what my life was like here. How I was the only black kid in the class. Anyway, thanks for all the advice. I'll try and take some of it. I appreciate you having this, Mr. D. Derell, and
Right.
it's definitely a lot easier talking to you than it is my father, because my father is, like I said, he's more blunt
Yeah,
and
I understand. I understand.
yeah,
But my
he'll
thing is
yell,
this, man. It's
right?
no look. Don't look at this as something you're pressuring yourself to do. Take it day by day. Apply what you can, little by little. No pressure. Things will gradually happen. Just take your time on it. Don't pressure yourself one way or the other.
Right. I'm just tired of. I'm growing very impatient. Anyway,
But you're still young though, man. You're 21. You're
well, that's
still
what people
young.
say, but I mean, I'm gonna be like I'll come back here 10 years later. Reg is still going to be hosting the Sunday Rumbles. You're still going to be on YouTube. I'm just going to be here alone, no chick, no experience. You know how embarrassing that is?
Yeah,
There's
but again,
15-year-olds who have the
that
experience.
hasn't happened.
Right,
You're only hypothesizing potentially what could happen, but it hasn't happened. There's a lot of time to change
right. But I guess I'll wrap it up. Shout out to all the smoke hoes.
that.
I know you want to be on the panel. I know
Yeah,
you love Derell's channel.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
put you in one
yeah.
of my songs, man. That may attract some females to you.
Yeah. This is the remix. Yep. Yeah.
All right, brother. It's good to
You
have
have
you,
a good
man.
one.
You have a great night, okay?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Derell. You have a
Okay.
good one.
Okay, guys. This is D Derell with the Conscious Clientele, broadcasting from D Derell the Rebirth. This was a classic. Definitely got the Manosphere in here. I got the pro black Umar Johnson sector up in here. The sector. We definitely had a classic show tonight, guys. Again, guys, appreciate you all for coming in. Please, I want you all to definitely subscribe to D Derell Life Solutions. My content on there is dope. Y'all have a great night. Peace.